Hey guys, we are back with more Wolfsburg Wolves franchise mode, and in this one we are going to continue with the rest of year number 5, but before we get going, I want to show you guys a couple of line changes, actually a lot of the line changes in the AHL, as there was a comment in the last one that said that the reason our AHL prospects aren't developing is because the AHL team is actually too stacked. I honestly had no idea that did that. So I tried that theory out on one of my own separate GMOs just to test that out, and a couple of years of simulating, and it appears to be true. So we're gonna roll with this. A lot of guys who we don't know and are probably only contracted to our AHL team. Of course, you got Sebastian Grief, who I believe is a prospect of ours. Yeah, we drafted him in the 7th round. But hopefully this means that guys like Devin Turco, Josh Williams will be able to grow faster. I've pretty much given up on Bach at this point. He's already 23, he's still only 72, so I think he's unfortunately a lost cause. But we could still help Josh Williams get there, Turco, as well as Virtanen, Kundratek, guys like that. So, and of course, he's still got Danskin there as the goaltender, but other than that, it's a much weaker AHL lineup, but that should mean more points for guys like Josh Williams, Devin Turco. But anyway, we're going to roll with this NHL lineup because we've already committed to being a playoff team at this point. Now, another thing that was pointed out is that we are forcing ourselves to make trades, and I would 100% agree with that, 200% agree with that, because, we were having to make trades when we were getting injuries to guys like Brassard and Corey Schneider as well. And that is a trade that we're going to have to make now. In the last one, we were thinking about going after Craig Anderson, as it would make sense as to why Ottawa would want to give him up due to Ollie. And yeah, we're going to have to make a trade for Anderson here. This is the last trade we're making. I don't want to give up too many assets here, as I feel like after these playoffs are over, we are going to need to do like a miniature rebuild, like a 1-year rebuild or retool, more like, because a lot of our key players are old. Radulov is 36 as we go by overall here. Malkin's 36, Brassard's 35, Furlan's 30, and then Lucic is 34, Steen's 38, and then on defense you have Hamilton is 29, Brodin 29, Myers 33, DeHaan 31. Maybe you keep guys like DeHaan, who could be a good veteran presence for defense, and then someone like Pajot, who's a good veteran presence at forward. Presuming they both want to re-sign for cheap. But other than that, I think the majority of our veterans are going in the offseason, just given how many old guys we actually have. It's time for the young guys to run this team after this season. But for right now, we're going to stay committed to the roster that we have. So what do I want to give up for Anderson? I'm not too sure. I think Westcott does have the medium top 6. He's only a 54. I could give him up, given that you have Turco. What's Westcott compared to Turco? Westcott's also is a sniper. Is Turco a sniper as well? No, he's a playmaker. I don't want to give up too many draft picks. You know what? Never mind. I can't find anything good to trade for Anderson. We would have to overpay for him anyway, since Ottawa doesn't want to give him up. We'll just roll with Dell here until the middle of March, because I like our record as it is. And I feel like if the team itself keeps playing the way it has been playing recently, then we should be fine. And Adam Usil is injured. Yeah, sure. Replace player. But I'm hoping that everything works out okay with Aaron Dell, and that we can just go back to him and Schneider, because there's really nothing else on the market that we could afford to trade for. And Anderson might be a little too much, especially given our team status at the moment, that we've been, forcing ourselves to make trades to make the playoffs. Okay, so going past the trade deadline, there's no going back. And unfortunately, Tyler Myers has been injured with an abdominal strain, so that's, yeah. The lack of depth on this team is really hurting. And that's where forcing ourselves to make trades really does hurt. Especially the future of this team. So we had an overtime loss against Anaheim there, but luckily Corey Schneider is back. So hopefully we can get back into the winning column, as he has been one of the main driving forces behind our success this season so far. And there you go, 5-2 win. He had to shake off the rust a little bit there in a 7-3 loss against Edmonton, but he looks to bounce back now as we head to the end of the season. As a game against Dallas, and that'll be a 5-4 loss, so we're a little shaky at the moment. Tampa Bay, 3-2 loss. Myers is back, so we'll definitely get him in there. I don't know, we're starting to look pretty shaky right now, and I'm hoping that doesn't continue, as we do have the playoffs on the line here. 4-2 win, but then a 2-1 loss against Philly. New York, 4-3 win. There you go. Okay, kind of back and forth at the moment. There's another win. Detroit, 6-3 loss. 1-0 win. Okay, thank you, Corey. LA, it might be close here. It might be very close for the playoffs. Yeah, we keep going back and forth. You had 2 wins there, but then it's followed up by 2 losses. So let's see. Since the episode has started, which I believe the first game was New Jersey. So loss, win, win. Loss, overtime, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, and here we are with 3 games remaining in the season. We're 42, 32, and 5. We're still in the playoffs, but just barely, as Minnesota and Nashville are right there. So we're basically in a 3-way dog race here with Minnesota and Nashville. So it's going to come down to every single game. We need all 3 of these games, no doubt, against Winnipeg, New York, and Florida. So I'm going to see if there's any line changes I can make to try to push us over the edge. I mean, Aho, Point, Homer, they've slowed down as of recent. Furlan, Brassard, and Mayer. That line looks like it's been on fire recently. Because I remember Mayer, at least when we started the simulation in this video, I'm pretty sure he only had like 24 points. So 42, yeah, the third line's been going. The third line has definitely been working. Radulov, Malkin, Miller. The thing is, there's not too many line changes that I can make. How has the penalty kill and the power play been? That's something we definitely need to look at, especially going into next season. Goals for per game, we are currently, you know what, it's not bad, especially given the rough start that we had at the beginning of the season. I would say, just given how low that was during the first 35 games, I would say that's somewhere around a 3 right now. So we're actually pretty good for goal scoring. Goals against per game, we've been solid all year, 2.42. Power play, again, given how bad this was at the start of the season, 17.5 probably isn't that bad at the moment. And then a penalty kill, it's not the greatest, but it's not terrible, 81.3. So there's not too many changes I can make. We just have to hope the simulation goes in our favor these last 3 or 4 games here. Yeah, here we go. Game against Winnipeg. Let's do the slow sim. Oh boy. Come on, boys. First period. Vesalainen and Wheeler on Dell. Second period. Not looking too good. Let's do the slow sim third period. Come on, Wolfsburg. We need all 3 of these games. There's no way we're getting into the playoffs if we... There you go, Steen. On Hellebuck, the veteran presence coming in clutch late in the game. Come on, boys. Line on Dell. Don't like it. Don't like to see it. We may have just fallen out of the playoffs with that. We may have just, yeah, we fell out of the playoffs. And there's still 2 games to go. And we are 2 points behind Minnesota and Nashville. First period. All right, there you go. Malkin and Radulov, the Russians, on Soderstrom. Second period. Bodie Wild on Dell. Oh, man. Come on, boys. I don't think we're making the... There's no way we're making the playoffs. Why is Dell started the past 2 games? I thought I put Schneider in there. You know, I'm just going to do this. So, after making a push for the playoffs, it looks like... Yeah, we're out. We're out. Nice. Both wildcards are locked in, and we're out. Okay, so yeah, we definitely need to do some sort of mini rebuild or retool in the offseason. It's gonna be a very short retool, given that it's already past year number 5. I would say trades for younger players who are ready to play in the NHL now, and maybe trade for draft picks that are gonna get us young players who are very close, if not already ready for the NHL. You know, sort of like a Mike Commodore situation. And there are a couple of those, actually. I was taking a look at the draft class, and I believe there's like 3 guys in the top 12 who are already NHL ready, who aren't, you know, top 5 picks. There's this guy, Frederick Lundin, who has A+, A, A-, A-, A. So that's pretty much already ready for the NHL. Aaron Zanetti as well. A+, A, B, A-. The only thing that I don't like about that is his physicality, but everything else is NHL ready. And then as well, Donald Anderson's A+, A-, A-, B, A-. Pretty much the same thing as Zanetti. And I mean, that's a full forward line right there in Lundin, Zanetti, and Anderson's. So a lot to look forward to with the draft. But yeah, this team needs to undergo a little bit of a retool / rebuild, because it's, yeah, this season was overall not good, given that 1, we didn't make the playoffs, 2, for the first part of the season the scoring was non-existent, and then we were also forcing ourselves to just make trades in order to try to qualify for the playoffs, which at this point we're not in. So yeah, this team definitely needs to push some of the veterans out. Maybe trade guys like Brodin, Hamilton, Myers, you know, guys who are on multi-year contracts who don't fit into the future of this franchise. Basically, anyone who's 29 or older on a multi-year contract is going to go at the draft. So that'd be Myers, Hamilton, Brodin. I think you can make an exception for Jones, because, you know, at this point we're going into year number 6, and you're not, I wouldn't say you come across another top 2 defensemen like Jones. So Kuleshov and Jones are untouchables here. I think we can re-sign DeHaan just as a veteran presence on the blue line, but everyone else, Brodin, Hamilton, and Myers, I think can go. And in terms of forwards, the majority of these guys are in 1-year deals. Malkin, 1-year deal. He's walking. Radulov, same thing. Furland, same thing, probably. Brassard, again, same thing. Lucic, Steen, Brown, all those guys are probably gone as well. The one guy who we could trade here is JT Miller. He's 30 years of age and 4 years left on his deal after this year. And I think you hold on to Braden Point, too, because he's a good... I feel like he's a good building block. I would like to keep Miller as well, but if there is a deal that is too good to ignore, then I'm definitely going to get him in that deal. And again, I think you could keep Braden Point just because he's 27, he's young, he's proven that he has chemistry with Aho and Homer. But other than that, there's going to be a lot of names moving out this offseason. Mayer, you obviously keep. He's an 85 overall. He's 21 years of age. He's part of the future here. And then in terms of goaltenders, obviously Schneider's 37 at this point. Maybe he comes back. Maybe not. I'm not too sure because this team is definitely very old and it needs a little bit of a reset just given that we didn't make the playoffs this year. So with that, I guess we will check out the progress reports for the AHL, see how guys like Bach and Williams and all those guys are growing. So Warren Barney is actually up to a 70 overall, the prospect defenseman of ours. Josh Williams is up to a 75. We've seen that. Kondratek is a 76 now, so that's good. Devin Turco is a 67. Bach, yeah, I don't think he's making it, boys. Calle Rodin is a 67 now. I would say another thing we need to target is a top prospect goaltender if we can find it, because it's just, we don't seem to have any luck with goaltenders, at least in terms of young goaltenders at the moment. I mean, Schneider was fantastic, but he's not going to be around for much longer. Colton Westcott, he grew to us 56. That's nice. Malkin, yeah, let's see all these guys just dropping off tremendously. Mayer grew by 8 to a 85. Yep, it's going to be a long offseason. It is going to be a long offseason. And you know what? I think even though this season is over, I'm going to assign a captain right now. We got to go with the man, the German. Jörg Aho is our official captain. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The young guys have got to lead this team. I'm going to take the A off of Jones and I'm going to put it on none other than Maddox Homer. We need the 3 original draft picks of this team. Aho, Homer, and Kuleshov. They have to lead this team because they know the culture of this team. And they're going to be more than likely our driving forces of next season. So, there you go. Aho is officially the captain of your Wolfsburg Wolves. And it's unfortunate we're not in the playoffs. So is our AHL team at least in the playoffs? I wouldn't say so. They're 36-6. Nah, there's no chance. Okay, well, at least the very least we can do is check out the stats, but yeah, really nothing spectacular offensively. Just given the struggles we had at the start of the season. Kuleshov with 55 points. So he was definitely going the entire season. Homer has 53. Aho with 53 as well. Point with 51. Radulov 49. Miller 43. Don't know how many of those came from Tampa Bay. Jones 43. Mayer with 42. He had a solid season on the third line. Hamilton 34. Broussard 30. Steen 29 on the fourth line. Furlan with 25, Brown with 15, Pajot with 15, Brodin with 14, Lucic with 12, Myers with 9, DeHaan with 8, Follin with 1. And in terms of goaltenders, Schneider with the 925, he was fine. It wasn't our goaltending. I mean, you could say he's old and all that, sure, but he still did his job at the end of the day. Unlike a lot of our forwards. So, at least in the first part of the season. That first part of the season definitely killed us. It did. So, here what we are going to do is re-sign the likes of Jean-Gabriel Pajot and Calvin Hunt. Now, the reason I want to re-sign these guys, again, they are solid veteran presences, and they're cheap veteran presences, more importantly. So, yeah, Pajot wants $1 million. I will definitely give him that. And DeHaan, he wants 2.3. That's actually not bad. I'll give him 1 year for 2.4. Yep, that's good for DeHaan. That's good for Pajot. Can't complain with that. And that's $1 million less for DeHaan as well. So we're getting him on a good deal for 1 more year. And they're the 2 veteran presences that will be along with all the young guys next year, hopefully. But yeah, we're gonna go through a decent rebuilding year, or at least again at the very least retooling. So I'm gonna see if I can extend Schneider here as well. Actually, you know, I'll see what happens in the offseason. there's no point in doing that now. So with that, there's not really much left to do except advance to the draft lottery. So I'll see you guys there. But before that, Kelvin DeHaan has accepted his offer, as has Jean-Gabriel Pageau. So now we will get to the offseason. And the playoffs are complete, and the Stanley Cup champions are the Dallas Stars, and the Calder Cup goes to Hartford. So with that, we will check out the awards, as to not miss that, like we normally do. So here we go. Yep, Stanley Cup. President's Trophy goes to the Arizona Coyotes. It was Dallas and Buffalo in the final. Art Ross goes to Jack Hughes on Minnesota. Hart goes to Jack Hughes. Norris goes to Alexander Kuleshov. How do you like that? So even in a year where our offense wasn't really the greatest, Alex Kuleshov shows that he is the leader on this defensive core. He wins the Norris Trophy. Lady Bing, Jack Hughes, of course. Calder goes to Lafreniere on New York. Conn Smythe, Ben Bishop, Vezina, Corey Schneider. How do you do? And William M. Jennings goes to Vasilevsky. Masterton goes to Dahlstrom on LA. Selke, Nico Hischier for a second year in a row. That looks very nice. Ted Lindsay, Jack Hughes, and of course, Hughes, Maurice Richard. And now, we are going to get up to the draft lottery, as this should be a pretty big year for the draft lottery. I'm very glad that we did not trade our first round pick. So here we go. Not looking. And we are what excuse me? Where are the Wolfsburg Wolves? Excuse me? Where are we? I swear we didn't trade away our pick. Alright, hold on. Let's read through this. Chicago, San Jose via Columbus. Florida, San Jose. St. Louis via Montreal. St. Louis. Los Angeles. Philadelphia. Boston. Edmonton. Pittsburgh via Vancouver. The Rangers. Carolina. Toronto. Vegas. Where's Wolfsburg? Are we picking 16th or something ridiculous like that? Oh my goodness. Stahl retired. Pavelski, Vanek, Koivu, Williams, not Josh Williams, Justin Williams. Jeez, that'd be ridiculous for Josh Williams to retire right now. Stasny, Kessler, Oshie, Erickson, Bufflin, Backus, Yandel, Radulov retired. So let's see if there's any other guys who retired on our team. For right now, it's just Radulov and goaltenders. Okay, Schneider didn't retire. That's good to know. But man, where are we in the draft? I didn't see our pick anywhere. I know I didn't trade our pick. I know for a fact we didn't trade our pick. Where are we? We got shafted. We got shafted with 16th. That's unreal, dude. I thought, because, like, you know, we didn't even go into the playoffs, so I figured we'd be a part of that list, but we weren't. Pick 30 and pick 16. So, yeah, we're going to have to do some wheeling and dealing at the draft for sure. That's unfortunate that we got shafted out of a lottery pick. And I don't think I'm going to do the draft now. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do the draft now. I'm going to hold off till next episode, but what I will do is check the draft class. So we don't even have a scouting report on this Alto guy. He is ready for the NHL, we know that, and he's going first overall, so he's probably at least a medium elite. All these guys up here, we're not picking till 16th. Jeez, Martinson is apparently the guy who's going to be available there. Stuart Allison might be available. Zane Seabrook, Artukin, Tunney, Emmanuel Cote. He might not be too bad just based off what I'm seeing currently, but nothing's exact there, so I'm kind of hesitant on that. Staples. Oh, he looks pretty good. A minus, A, B. He might be like maybe a year or two away from the NHL, but you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. Another medium elite here. Edgar Castles. He's a few years away, but you know what? Good trade bait, if nothing else. Jackson. Yeah, not too bad. Let's sort by potential, see if there's any gems. You have, yeah, of course, Castles, who we already saw. Millman, who might be a medium elite. Sometimes those 3-bar potential could be a medium elite, but other times they may not. So that's a 50-50 right there. Let's see, anybody else? Anybody else? Low elites. You have Pedersen, and then Cornette. Okay. Any medium top 6s here? You have a high top 6 in Harvey Nolan. He's going 6 overall though. So I really want to try to trade for the 7th and 8th overall pick so we can get Zanetti and Lundin and Andersons. I want Andersons too. I want all 3 of these guys because they're pretty much all NHL ready, and that would really speed up the rebuild or you know, minor retooling, whatever you want to call it. So Haydar, he might not be bad either. A lot of these guys you can't go wrong with, but these 3 right here are guys that I definitely want to keep my eye on going to the draft. So you guys let me know, what should we do differently for next year? I mean, of course, we're probably going to be unloading most of our veterans, and you guys let me know what we should do going into the draft, offseason, all of that good stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next one.